Hello and welcome. If you're new here, I just want to let you know we have so much fun coming up. It is the eve of the Ides of March, and if you'd like to participate, all you need to do is make a video. And that video, you can screen record whatever game you play, talk over it with your microphone, and then the submission guidelines are to start off with a "What's up Fortnite?" You can stylize, characterize it any way you want, and then you become StickyBasket, and all you need to do is speak into the void as if no one's listening, fill out the submission form below, and enter into the Wokestravaganza contest where we will discover who is StickyBasket. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you'll participate. We have a lot in store. I actually received the trans agenda from our friend and benefactor of the channel. So let's go over what the trans agenda for 2026 is, because it's not just going to be you creating games. I'd like to share a little bit about how I experience the world, because sometimes we forget the Wokestravaganza is about how the world silences trans voices. And so by using the proxy of StickyBasket, we can all experience the freedom from the restrictions of the world, where we are impressed in such a way that our expectations of ourselves override our natural instincts. To say it more plainly, oftentimes we are who the world wants us to be rather than being ourselves, and StickyBasket offers a mask with which we can express ourselves with solidarity. And the first item on the trans agenda is to play games. And I mean, making a submission is a real easy way to do that, because you can do any game you want this year. Last year we did Dark Souls, but we beat Dark Souls. We are the chosen undead. Not just one of us, we are all the chosen undead, because time is convoluted and our experiences aren't so dissimilar. We all undergo a system that sort of speaks over us through a variety of power structures. One of the most prevalent in our current society is capitalism, and the need to constantly work. No matter what is happening, you have to be generating money. And it feels weird that everything centers on this currency, and we have to sort of like idealistically surround our lives with what we want to do balanced against how much we want to survive well within society. And I think that by letting go of those expectations and expressing yourself freely, it becomes clear that the individual is not more powerful than the world around them until they find a way to integrate the world around them with themselves. Until you start to see the change you can bring in the world, it's very hard to understand where your position is. A lot of people on this channel in the comments like to talk about my gender, and you know, it's very flattering that everyone's thinking about my genitals, but personally it makes me a little bit uncomfortable. And I think the reason it makes me uncomfortable is because for me, my identity isn't something that I center my life on. It's just something that exists as a part of my life, and then everything I do is slightly harder because I'm a trans person. At work, I had my experience as a technician questioned and invalidated. And previously, I had my career with the military ended. And, you know, a little bit of a silent W in there because way better off now than I was then. And I've undergone a lot of personal growth, at least enough to know that the person I was 10 years ago isn't even close to the person I am today. And at the same time, people will look at me and think I'm represented by the person I was when I was a baby. And I don't know how to say this, but I'm not a child. Yet the world looks at trans women as if they are incapable. And trying to overcome that challenge after coming out and starting to experience my struggle, one of the best ways I felt my capacity to be involved and create change was with my local DSA chapter, where they allowed me to participate in their mutual aid program. They had a social I could go to, and it was always a nice place because I could go there and understand people aren't going to be attacking me on the basis of gender. We're going to be talking about how we can overcome the problems of working on this endless treadmill and never really having enough to thrive in that world. And then confronting that insecurity through the mutual aid program by learning to give what I can, even if I don't have as much as I'd like, has re-empowered me to feel as though I can make a difference. I've been a part of the mutual aid program for a few months, and I hope to talk about it a little bit more over the duration of the Wokestravaganza, but I think it's important we get to the timeline. So, the Ides of March is when you can submit a StickyBasket video, and we will be going for submissions until the 29th, I believe. Then on the 30th, we're gonna have one day where day of silence to mourn StickyBasket. And then on the 31st is the big Wokestravaganza, and we're gonna celebrate the Trans Day of Visibility. We're gonna learn a lot about trans voices, how trans people face struggle in society disproportionate to cisgender people, and really just why it's important we make gaming woke again. Because I am tired of people bitching about things like pronouns in video games and acting as if it's some infringement upon their capacity to derive pleasure from a game, when I'm off playing games from like 10, 15 years ago and having a blast still, and it's like, I don't know, you play what you enjoy, but don't knock everyone else's games and creations and things they want to do. If you look at gaming as exclusively the corporation thing, you better get on board with some alternative economic structure quick. And personally, I think socialism is the way to go. I think it's got a great structure, and I think it's a great way to feel like we have a voice and have power even in times that are challenging, to say the least. We can resist as much as we can, but at the end of the day, we gotta be having good days. And I think that the Wokestravaganza is all about having good days. So it looks like having fun is the second thing. So leading full and happy lives as productive members of society, that's pretty important. We should love our ability to love ourselves, even in a world that doesn't love us back. And, this one says, do good when possible, be bad when necessary, and fucking slay. So those are the guidelines for sort of the content we are looking for in terms of talk about what you face in the world maybe, or how your experience in the world is enjoyable if you so choose. Really, The spirit of StickyBasket is you can say whatever you want, and when you're done with what you're saying, you close the scene out, you know? Uh, because we can't wear the hat forever. You gotta take it off and then go back to the real world. And at that point, who are we? It's like StickyBasket once said, sticky is as sticky does, so be sticky, my friends. I look forward to seeing your creations. I'll have a video for you all again tomorrow to help you out with what kind of a submission would look like. And yeah, happy Wokestravaganza 2026. Maybe we'll make 2027 woke. Fuck this administration, fuck Donald Trump and all the entire bourgeois class that's oppressing each of us and making us split along identity lines and try and fight among ourselves as the working class and divide us, even though our strength is greater than what they have, and that's why they fear us working together and acting as one. So let's all just act as one and play a fun little game. So anyway, thank you for sticking around. I love you so much and have a nice day. Bye. Hello and welcome. Well, Wokestravaganza is coming up right around the corner, and I tell you what, I forgot the fucking agenda right over there.